say let's say 2 drips per minute. So how that equates is that's 11,520 drips per day, just under a gallon of water per day. But even more telling, 278 gallons of water per year. So think about if we had all 180 folks that had signed up for the webinar today, this happened, how much water are we actually losing? A little bit about Esri. I'm sure most people are familiar, obviously, with Esri and what Esri is about, depending on what division or sector you're working in. Not many people know about our water team. So as far as water agencies, there's over 17,000 agencies ranging from the very world's largest water utilities down to the very small rural water utilities that we get to deal with on a daily basis and helping them with their modern network. So that's just a little tidbit about our water sector team. So what we want to talk about today is how does ArcGIS modern network management enable utilities to operate at more efficient and cost effective, because that's what it's all about. We want to be able to save the money from any water main breaks or things like that. As we get down the road, we'll talk more about that. So modern network management, it's more than just knowing where your assets are. We all know where valves, meters, hydrants, all that kind of stuff that we collect on a day-to-day basis. But not only a system of record, but tools to help improve data quality. The information is available to everyone, anywhere, on any device within an organization, as well as analytical tools to make better decisions when responding to emergencies. So we're going to look at what I call 5 pillars of a network management, or key drivers, whatever you want to refer to. We're going to dive in a little bit deeper into each one of these here. So data integrity, or your authoritative data. You have your business systems on one side of the house, but then you have your authoritative data of your GIS and everything about that on the other side. And that's where it's all about. To asset modeling and capabilities, emergency response communication, we'll show later, isolation trace and how all that interacts and stuff, and how you can save money and precious water. To system analysis and reporting, as far as tools that are very telling based on the data that you have, and you can report on that and do different calculations instead of peering over paper-based workflows. To the last one is what we always like to say is be agile first and customize second. So if we look at first key driver would be our data integrity. I like to look at it as building a house. Okay, you have to start with that strong foundation in order to continue to build upwards and be able to use other tools to help build that house and make it a strong house in order to do other things within, outside of the house or inside of the house. And so, with accurate data and tools to help all of this, provides a trusted system that anybody that has your data within the organization knows that it's a trusted source, and they can use tools against that and know that they're getting good data. The second key driver that we want to look at is emergency response and communication. So responding to water main breaks and quickly planning for maintenance outages are extremely important. this shows a picture of an isolation trace, and we'll show you that in a little while. So ArcGIS provides trace network tools that allow staff from the office and in the field to be able to produce these, and even your field guys can, from their device, be able to create a trace on the fly and identify what valves to turn off and what customers are affected, as well as what hydrants are out of service. So asset modeling. Asset modeling is one. So we got system analysis and reporting. Let's look at that first. Again, these are some other tools that can be done to report water loss. You can create heat maps with this. There was a user story a while back of a utility that was having a lot of main breaks, and it was fairly new infrastructure of their main distribution lines. So they put in their data in there and come to find out that it was the integrity of the pipes and everything. So they were able to get all that replaced. Another one is water consumption. If you're seeing up north in your area, that's a more affluent area, and you see a lot of water users, you know that, hey, these homes have a lot of pools, so they're going to use more water. You can create heat maps and things of that nature. So the system analysis tool and reporting is very telling. So configuration instead of customization, kind of what, be agile first, customize second. So to build a modern network, obviously it takes time and resources. No doubt about that. Y'all are doing that day in and day out as GIS users. Once it's done, then, ArcGIS provides out of the box tools and applications that can be easily deployed and configured to meet your business needs as they grow. It reduces third-party applications, homegrown applications. So when you do make a change or you go to maintenance and update those third-party type applications, the application that you built won't break. So again, so we want to be agile first and customize second. And then the last one is asset modeling and capabilities. So it's now capable to model and track life cycle of detailed components in the system that weren't previously in GIS. Now components of meter vaults and pressure reducing valve assemblies can now be modeled and tracked, as we see down here in the left-hand corner of the meter vaults. And then likes of access and treatment plants, multi-tenant use, apartment buildings, and other facilities can also include in the system. Then a more detailed analysis is enabled. And again, we'll show some of that as well. So as utilities, we all have challenges. And a few of the challenges that we all face is, obsolete technology, end-of-life servers, desktops needing to be upgraded, software needed to be upgraded, things of that nature. Second one is outdated workflows. Are you still using paper-based workflows today? Many folks would sit around the table and divvy up zip codes of work orders and things like that. So we want to move from those paper-based workflows to digital transformation. And then embracing change. The folks that have been there 20, 30, 40 years, they're used to doing it one way. So, but the problem with that is they have the institutional knowledge of knowing where those valves and meters are. So we need to capture those, and they need to be able to use the digital transformation workflows in order so that when they retire or leave the utility, they'll leave it in a better place than what they found it, and all in their head. So how do we bring all this together? So what we do is we support utility workflows by providing centralized map-based systems, is what we see here. We bring in all the GIS information together in one map, tying it to a location. So if you look, we start down here at the bottom, you have your ArcGIS cloud, whether that be ArcGIS Online or ArcGIS Enterprise. And so with your asset management system, you can push and pull data back and forth into your asset management for work orders, permitting, whatever the case may be that you're doing. Instead of peering over Excel spreadsheets and divvying up those, you'll have workflows that are very, very good for your folks in the field. To customer information systems, CIS. So, you know, whether they want to know where their meters are when they call in, or you're doing turn-ons and shut-offs, and that can be extended instead of having to go out and use manpower of hanging door hangers. If that's what you're still doing today, there are other options. So in order for all this to happen, we now then have to look at the data management that we talked about, the field operations, what's involved with them, the field techs in the field, what they need, and as well as customer engagement or customer service reps that are really on the front lines of the utility, and with better tools for them to have. This enables streamlined data management workflows across and monitor and data collection in the field and improve customer service. So we're going to just kind of look at this really quick. These are a few utilities from very small to very large that have initiated a network management based system. There are thousands and thousands more that are doing the same thing. So again, whether you're very small down at the bottom to very large systems, it doesn't matter because everybody's doing the same thing. So basically what we want to do now is I want to look at, we're going to show a little demo here of that. Do y'all see the map?
We do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank y'all very much. So what this is a web-based web application of an isolation trace. You can also do this in ArcGIS Pro from a desktop standpoint. But for the field, this is good for the field guys that they can, because they can do their own traces. So what we want to do is we want, yeah.
Hey, we're still looking at the PowerPoint here. Sorry, at least from my end on the phone.
Okay. Huh. Let's see. On your own phone. Anybody said they saw the map?
I see it.
Well,
I see a
map.
screenshot of a map on a PowerPoint slide.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what we're
Yes.
seeing.
That's
Okay.
better way to explain it. Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Let me go back here. Sorry about that. Okay.
That's better.
Yeah.
There you go.
Now you go. There you go.
All right. Now we're back in business. Okay. So we're looking at isolation trace here. So what I'm going to demonstrate is this is a very small piece of the utility network. So what we want to do is we want to do the valve isolation trace. We want to do all assets because we want to include the valves, the meters, and the hydrants. So what I'm going to do, then click this, And I'm gonna come out here and we're just gonna click a point right here on this main distribution line here to say, okay, we've got a unplanned break. We need to take action. So we start to run this nil. And then what we're gonna do is once I've selected that point or we found where that issue is, we can run the trace. And then this will identify the customers that are affected, the valves and the hydrants, the valves that we need to turn off and the hydrants that are out of service. So you can then also notify the fire department of, hey, there's two fire hydrants that are going to be out of service while we're fixing this. And then we can come down here and we can look at, these are all different attributes. So here's our two fire hydrants that are out of service. As far as service connections, as far as the residential, these are the residents that are affected. So if we, now what you can do is when, data, we can click on, let's just click on this main, just to give you a little more depth into this as far as what information is about this line. So we've got the material is ductile iron. This is a 8-inch line. So a lot of different information that can be added to when they were putting in the line or putting in the meter or the valve and all of that. So a little hyperlink here that you can show. So that's what we call the valve isolation trace. And it's really cool. And that's usually one of our first questions that we always get is, I want to isolate the valves and notify the customers. And then you can then create a hub page if you so desire to put on your front website. So people then can come to there, they can put their address in and see if they are in the affected area. And this will be, grayed out because obviously we don't want to put our network distribution on a map for anybody to see. So it kind of be grayed out and they put their address in and see if they are affected. And then you can let them know when it'll be back on, when it went off, what's the issue. That way, this also helps reduce calls coming into customer service, things of that nature, to minimize those initial calls that then you can continue to do your day-to-day work. The other thing we started talking about was our insights, pressure zones, and summary statistics. Y'all see the graph here?
Yep, got you.
Okay, great. So these are color-coded pressure zones. So with these different are called workbooks. So if we were to click on one of these here, and we want to isolate, we want to look at that pressure zone. So we see the pipe length is 5,200, hydrants per zone. So it's all basically the same. Service connections per zone. So again, as we talked about earlier about reporting and analysis, you can do all different kinds of reporting based on the data that you have from any data source there. So let me flip over to my next slide, if I can get that to go over. No, don't tell me this. There we go. So the solutions, do y'all see that, the ArcGIS solutions?
Jay, we're still on the pressure zones.
Okay, let me stop. I guess I got to stop and share every time. What we're going to talk about is our solutions. There we go.
We
The
can see your
solution-
next slide though.
Okay.
Isn't technology such a hoot?
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It all worked. It all worked before, during the
The
non-demo, the
testing
non-thing.
part.
Yeah. So let me stop sharing that. So you just see ArcGIS solutions.
We see the ArcGIS solutions and we see your what's next slide.
Okay, no, that's not what we want. There we go. I just hit the wrong one. Sorry about that. Okay.
No worries. There you go. You got it.
All right. So ArcGIS solutions. So these are some of my favorite things to look at. What these are pre-baked, no cost solutions. This here is showing the utility network foundation. So what you do is you deploy, and I'm going to go back over, so I'm going to have to stop sharing again, but I want to show you the page of all the different solutions that there are that you have access to through your Esri licenses and stuff of that nature to be able to use. So let me stop sharing that, and I will go over and we will get this done correctly this time.
I'm gonna look up a link and paste it in the chat as well for the
Okay.
solutions page.
You got it. Let's see here.
Did you want all of them or just focused on utilities?
I was just gonna do all of them.
Okay. So I'm
Okay,
gonna
wait a minute.
post this. If you scroll down in there, you'll see the different industries and then you can drill down from there.
Yeah, so where are you at?
Is that the right link? In the chat?
Solutions.arcgis.com.
No, it's slightly different. Solutions.arcgis.com. Let's see. Maybe that's a better link.
Sure.
Oh yeah, it's the same. It's the
Okay.
same link.
So if y'all go to there, excuse me for that. There's 149 of them through all the different sectors that Esri offers. You can scroll down to the bottom of utilities, and there's water, stormwater, sewer. These, like I said, are solutions that you deploy. You add your data to it. They come with certain maps and apps. You don't have to use all of them. Some of them have dashboards, survey 1, 2, 3s, things of that nature. But they're pre-configured, as I said. They're scalable to meet your needs from that standpoint there. So you see what's next slide?
Nope, we're seeing you.
Oh, you're seeing me. Okay, cool. Oh.
Are solutions enterprise or AGOL? We just had a quick question while you're switching.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do either or. You can do ArcGIS Align or you can do ArcGIS Enterprise. When you go to that home page of that solution and you scroll down a little bit to your right, it'll tell you what system requirements are for that. But most of them are for enterprise.
Okay, thanks.
I've just like totally lost everything here.
Oh dear. We are experiencing technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Please stand by.
I don't know what you're seeing. Are you seeing just me?
Still seeing you. Big old J.
Well, let's see here. Let me go out to this. No. Okay. And this all worked beautifully here just a little while ago. So anyhow, I'm just going to continue. So as you saw the what's next slide there, from an internal standpoint, what are your goals?
Jay, I'm so sorry, but we're still just seeing you. I don't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, I'm just going to continue.
Okay.
Just the way it is.
No worries.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So you saw kind of the what next slide was a little while ago. And so, you ask yourself, what are your challenges? What are your pain points of creating a modern network management and stuff? And to name a few. And then in conclusion, we looked at key drivers that make up a modern network asset management. We talked about data quality, emergency response, asset modeling, system analysis, and want to be agile and first and customize second. So it's up to you to be good stewards of modern network and preserve our precious water. And I have one question. Can you live without water for a day? Thank you very much.
I know I can't live without water. I'm drinking tons of water myself. Thank you, Jay. We have one question so far, and please
Yeah.
feel free to post your questions in the chat. We got some time here so we can have a good conversation. But we have one person that says, I'm assuming the tracing ability in web maps was an Enterprise 11.3? Question
Yes,
mark.
it was an enterprise that was done. The tracing can be done from 11.x through 11.4. So yeah, it is an enterprise.
Okay.
And the utility network only you have to have enterprise. You cannot use ArcGIS Online.
Okay. Does anybody have any other questions or comments? Any conversation starters you want to throw at Jay?
Yeah.
Bring it on. And you can even feel free to unmute. You don't necessarily have to type it in the chat. Feel free to just speak up if you like.
I have a question for you,
Yeah.
Jay. And I don't see it in any of the solutions, but does ArcGIS have there is well, I guess it wouldn't be a utility, but an area that has a lot of septic systems, for wastewater management and runoff. Are there any solutions within ArcGIS that would allow to, like, say, map drainage fields or so on and so forth with a closed system like a septic system?
Yeah, like septic. There is, as far as the utility concerned, we do have the sewer, and so that you can, just the sewer from that. I don't have anything that I'm aware of a septic, but that's really a great question, and I would like to talk to you more about that because our solution team that develops these, it's based on customer needs, and so we just had a reach out from one of the solution folks looking for. I can't remember. It was something I think maybe with the utility network or something that they're updating, and that would be great. I'm happy to if you want to send me an email.
Sure.
The problem is here. Let me do this. I wasn't sharing my screen and I just clicked on one of your things. So let me see here.
Feel free to post anything in the chat, Jay, if you like.
So I'm just trying to get back to here. Let me make this done here, and then hold on 1 second. Let me share this. Share the screen. So there's our what's next slide that we talked about. So this is my email address, letterjhoffman@esri.com. Yeah, send me an email because I also work with, I don't know if there's anybody on here from groundwater conservation districts. There are 100 groundwater conservation districts in Texas. That's where I'm located in the Dallas area. And so one of the solution guys talked with about 4 different of my customers about their workflows, and they actually integrated that into the network data water schema. So that's some more fields that can be added there. If you're new and you don't have any type of solution, like an enterprise geodatabase, or if you're just doing a file geodatabase, or you're just really beginning, I suggest looking at the solution of the water data management schema. Now, the water utility network one, that's the utility network. Stay away from that solution. but look at the water data management. It's like a big Excel spreadsheet, and you can add all your data, and then that's what creates that real pretty looking map that I showed doing the isolation trace. So you're inputting all of your fields. You know, that's if you don't have anything already. It really works wonders. But yeah, send me an email. What's your name, sir?
Sean?
Sean? Yeah, send me an
Yes.
email, Sean. I'll be happy to,
Sure.
because I do run a lot, you know, when I'm talking with mostly the rural water folks that their users or whatever, they have septic tanks. So that
Yeah.
could be something that they could explore.
Okay, great,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the question.
You're welcome.
Anybody else have any other questions? All right, well, we'll give you a little bit of time back. If anybody does have any questions they want to do offline, that's my email address. Be happy to answer any additional questions or any help that you may need. So I appreciate you listening in today to my presentation, and hopefully we'll be able to do this again sometime.
Thank you so much, Jay. We really appreciated your talk. Very, very interesting. Appreciate your
bet.
time.
Uh-huh.
And thank you all, everyone, for joining us as well. Appreciate you.